What we're doing at Preci-Health is improving tremendously a procedure that is very commonly done, and I'm sure that all of you have done it within the last year. Market data mention that blood collection happens for one person every year. It's a very significant market, and currently what we are offering is answering a very high unmet need and also offering a brand new patient experience. Because what we are doing with our medical device is a procedure that you can do under the supervision of a healthcare professional, but essentially it's really aimed for being a completely self-remote procedure that is painless, as we are not using any needles to use on the skin, and it could be with or without healthcare professional. Ideally, we want to go to the home setting, but we will be used first in point of care, being laboratories, hospital, medical centers, pharmacies as well. And what we are doing with our procedure is really changing completely the situation that we have today for you doing a blood collection procedure. You need to take an appointment, you need to go to the laboratory, you need to spend time having a phlebotomy done with a healthcare professional. We want to cut the cost from a phlebotomist. We want to have a better experience for you, being safe, but also authenticated through this remote procedure. With a real-time AI-based guidance, our solution is a combination of the device and a real-time AI companion app. So the market today, blood collection is very common, is high, very high need. There are roughly 14 billion lab tests done only in the US annually. It's a very significant market. There is, for sure, you heard about that, the rise of remote care from the patients, but lab as well are very interested in having a shift, not having all their patients coming in the lab, but having the procedure made outside of the lab. We estimate that today, 1 out of 10 patients use remote health monitoring, and trends suggest that within the next 5 to 10 years, 4 out of 5 of those very basic procedures will happen outside of the lab. 70% of the medical decisions are based on blood-based sample, and blood-based are used commonly for a wide range of conditions, whether it's genetic, whether it's preventive health. We have lots of new biomarkers, preventive conditions, but also a growing trend for patients just remotely doing their health check on a regular basis. So we believe that Preci-Health is ideally positioned to answer the needs from the future need. As we know, there is a lack of staff. It's more and more difficult to have trained nurses for phlebotomy. We also know that we have aging demographics, a growing demand from the elderly, that we have a problem with increasing cost. Hospitals are also under lots of pressure. And this consumer mindset, which comes to the healthcare, having patients driving their health, and it starts with diagnosis. And diagnosis is based most of the time on blood-based collection. And what we want as well to address is the inequality in health. We want to have a solution which is accessible, affordable. Just to give you an idea of the labs, those labs are connecting with us every week. Every week I receive emails from laboratories and hospitals asking whether they can access our blood collection device, even though we're not yet commercially available. Why do they come to us? Because they have tried alternative blood collection solutions and they are disappointed. Still, 76% of the labs already perform testing on capillary samples. 86% of them expect higher volume from capillary samples currently available. And 60% of labs already explore home sampling, direct-to-consumer offering. So we know the trend is there. But what they have currently on the market is not there exactly for them. So we strongly believe that with our offering, our long-term vision is really to impact global healthcare by providing accessible, affordable, authenticated, decentralized medical procedures that go through diagnostics anytime, anywhere. Our short-term mission is really to improve global health by enabling individuals to easily, safely, securely sample their blood in the comfort of their home, point of care, or anywhere else. Just to give you a heads up on the company behind the technology, we're a Swiss private company. We have developed this painless dermal blood collection device. We have raised since November 2022. We were quite lucky to raise so much. We have raised roughly $12 million US. The company was created back in 2017 based on microfluidics and micromechanics engineering. We have raised from the inception roughly $17 million US. So we raised a lot very recently to really focus on our blood collection device. Where we are very strong is the market traction. We have been developing our solutions because we had laboratories and IVD leading players coming to see us and say, well, please do that. Do a blood collection device that can do 3 times more volume than the existing competition. Please use as well conventional standard tubes that fits into our automated lab machines. So those are the current tubes that we use. And please also think about a tool that would enable patients to be guided through the process of manipulating the device and being authenticated, especially for the home use setting. Because you want to know that the blood that you're collecting belongs to you and not to your husband, not spouse, but the husband. And that's really something that we have developed as a separate asset, but it's a very strong asset part of the overall solution. We have signed agreements and signed LOIs with leading diagnostic players and laboratories. As the market is highly significant, we're going to supply finished products, and we want to focus on the leading ones. So we have signed with a leading lab in the US, leading lab in Europe, and the leading IVD diagnostic company that is really escorting us within understanding the market needs and also referring us to their premium laboratories that they want to serve in the best way. So I'm here today to, of course, search for additional strategic, high-quality collaborations, but also fundraising. We're currently raising $6.8 million US for the remaining of our Series A, and we will be starting at the end of the year our Series B for a minimum ticket of roughly $35 million US. We are targeting FDA approval next year and a unicorn positions within 2028, simply boosted by the size of the market and the need of the market. We aim at a 2 to 4 years exit strategy based on a number of events and valuation. So this is our solution. It's a device that you use on the upper arm. It is very simple, easy, painless procedure without using needles. It has the highest capillary blood volume from 1.5 to 4 milliliter per draw, and good quality in terms of the hemolysis level of the blood that we're collecting. What makes us very unique is, of course, the volume of the blood that we're collecting through capillary sampling, but also the fact that our device can be using multiple tubes. So it's not a one-tube device, it's a multiple tube device that fits into the lab automated machines. We have using vacuum tubes currently available on the market, not regulated for capillary blood, but existing for venous blood. But still the machines, the lab automated machines, they are using those tubes. And we have obviously lots of IP. We're coming from the engineering side. We patented the lancet, we patented the patch, we patented many things that makes the device extremely efficient. Just to give you an idea of the existing competition, I can only refer to what we know being marketed in the US, in Europe. It's Tasso and YourBio. I'm sure you probably know a bit about them. The big difference between those technologies and ours is obviously the volume of the blood that can collect, the fact it's a single tube, mini tubes that require some manipulations to the lab, and the fact as well that they are creating the vacuum. Those devices do create the vacuum. So if you don't close it properly on your skin, then you have leakage, it's difficult. And it's kind of the same patient experience that we would like to do, except that we are coming with a companion app that really helps the patient, reassure the patient through the process, and identify the patients. And our app is actually available for any type of wearables, whether it's a blood collection device or whether it's an inhalator or whatever type of devices that you need to manipulate in a remote care or remote use. The app, we have developed this app in partnership with another Swiss-based company, and we decided to go for this company because the app is doing really three things. The first thing is doing an identification of the user, nothing really special. It's biometric facial recognition with a 99.98 accuracy in the patient identification, even over age, but that's necessary for the process. But the second thing that it does, it guides really real-time, step-by-step, the patient through the process, improving tremendously the compliance and the patient journey. And the third thing that it should do, if you're interested, is issuing an official standalone proprietary encrypted certification that proves that the patient has been successfully through the process. So this is something of high interest to the laboratories, but also to the insurance, to the doctors, to the laboratory. Our app can be used as a standalone or connected to external databases. I think I'm going to close soon, but that's just give you an idea of the at-home patient journey. Here I've been using a different device. It's a massive self-vaccination device that we also developed, but it gives you the same idea that you need to identify yourself, scan the device, scan the tubes, go through the process. It tracks real-time your posture and the device, and then issue the certification. So I'm just going to close the presentation as my time is just finished now. So we are going to go to the market in the US. That's going to be our first market starting off next year with a 510K as a lancet, and then an MDR class 2A in Europe. And I look for investors to join up to $6.8 million our Series A, or our Series B that will be at a much greater level, but by the end of this year. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.